Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time no see, but I've been recording. It's just I haven't found the time to edit in a long time. So a lot of these videos, I'm gonna see what I can post after I post this. Like see what's closer to now's date after I post this, and then just post that. But yeah. Whew. Heart beating fast. I'm out of breath. But yeah, it's been a long time. So now that I think I have some free time. Well, I'm trying to make some free time. It's a new year and I'm trying to do better. And I'm also trying to, like get out this current funk I am in. So I decided what better time than to film a chit chat get ready with me, and I give you a little life update. So that's what we're doing for today's video. So life update is not really a life update, it's more a school update. Well, a little bit of a life update. I am currently in 4th semester and I am preparing to walk, not graduate. So the technical college that I am currently doing my associate's nursing in allows you to choose. Well, if you go in during spring semester, you graduate technically in summer semester, but they don't offer any they don't offer graduation during the summer semester. So if you decide to do if you do decide to graduate, it will be either in December. Well, it will be either in May or December. And I graduate technically in August. So I was like, I'm not coming back after I graduate to walk. That don't sit right with my soul. So I am currently deciding to walk in May. So to walk, you had to okay, let's backtrack. So my skin is already prepped and ready for the makeup. So last time I talked to y'all, I think I was just finishing 1st semester and going into 2nd semester. And then in 2nd semester, I posted this this update video, and I showed y'all my little mini breakdown I had and in 1st semester, but I didn't tell y'all anything about 2nd semester. So currently, your girl did pass 2nd semester. I am currently in 4th semester, so this has been a long break, and I'm just gonna update y'all on what took place in 2nd and 3rd semester. If y'all see me looking this way, that's because I have a mirror. And yeah, your girl needs to look. So 2nd semester, I believe, was the worst semester for me. And in 2nd semester, I took second semester we took Med-Surg 1 and Pharmacology 2. So when I say your girl caught hell in 2nd semester, I caught hell. So mind you, in 2nd semester, I don't see my brush. That's why y'all see me keep stopping. Hold on. One. So in 2nd semester, I think I say the first time we had got a new teacher, and she was actually like new to teaching. This was her 2nd class period, and mind you, I'm 30, right? I'm old to be in nursing school. And the school that I'm in, a lot of these girls are very young. Like, they're like super young. They got to finish their prereqs and all of that in high school. So they're like 18 in nursing program already. And that is a problem with maturity wise and knowing how to handle a situation. So second semester, we had this brand new nurse. Brand new. Just like I said, we were her only second class she ever taught. So she was still getting her legs, and she didn't really know how to explain stuff that well, so she just read to us. Like, straight from the PowerPoint, straight from the notes, verbatim, right? And so we all didn't know how to study for her. We didn't know what was important. It was like very bad, right? So the first test, we go in, mind you, we don't know how to study for her. And then we come out, and all of us get our grades. When I say the whole freaking class was freaking out, the whole freaking class was freaking out. So the highest grade was 85. The highest grade that she got in that class was an 85. So like, we were all just like, no, this ain't happening. We just got to buckle down and study better. Well, that's what my friend group was doing. Like, so first semester, we all kind of paired up with our certain people. And like, even though we had a friend group, we were all like, talked, we all like chilled, but we wasn't like, when we came to studying, we mostly deviated to our friend group. And then at the final semester, that's when all of us got like together and we like shared notes and then all study for the final exam, the whole cohort. So we weren't tight, but we were a close-knit cohort, right? So then second semester started, we had already had this group meet, everybody in our cohort was in it. And once everybody saw their grades, all hell broke loose in that group chat. Like, the two lowest score were a 66. And let's just say one girl did not take that very well, and she's very young. And then that group me was not helping because they kind of egged her on a little bit, but not in like, oh, you should do this way. It's just like they were saying their frustration with the situation, and she took it to an extreme and actually acted on it. But when you're young and you feel like your life is on the line, and then you feel like it's the teacher's fault, even though I don't believe it was. Like, I believe she could have did a little bit better, but at the same time, the first test for me is always typically my lowest test grade, because like, you don't know how a teacher, during the semester you learn how a teacher learn how the teacher format her quiz as the semester goes on, right? And she got mad and decided to, instead of talking to the teacher about her grade, asking the teacher like, what can we do to like get better? Is there a way that we all can communicate to get a higher grade? Because even the teacher was disappointed in our grades. She decided to take it upon herself to write an email to the president of the school and literally basically came at the teacher and the school and the program as a whole, and that did not go over well because she jumped the chain of command, and she's like literally attacking the teacher in the email. And then signed the whole cohort, even though it was technically her, and no one says, like, my friend group didn't say anything about it because we thought we should have just studied a bit better. So when that happened, all hell broke loose. The group chat went off. They were fussing with her. And then there was a few that was like on her side. And just like, even I had to get in the group chat and tell them to like back off her because they were doing the most. And I was like, she's young. It's uncalled for how they were treating her. So, like, that was really is. So the whole group chat disbanded. The whole cohort just like did not get along after that. Everybody stayed to their friend group, and it was it. But because of that, we ended up getting a bad reputation. And that did not help. The teachers no longer were assisting us or trying to help us at all with like studying and learning the material. It was just bad. We got a bad rep with the president and each class that we went to after that. And like clinical aspect, even though I had a good clinical teacher, clinical aspect was kind of the hospital that I went to was kind of crappy. Like during second semester, I didn't learn anything in clinical wise. Like we couldn't pass meds until the very end of the semester because they didn't give our teacher access. And then like every time we get a patient, majority of us had to double up with the nurse and the patient because most of the patients were getting discharged and they were not filling up as good because it was a small hospital. It's the smaller of the three that's around here. So, but I think my teacher tried to make the best out of it. And like whenever something like interesting did happen with one patient, she pulled us all in. So that was good. I actually made great friends with the girls from the second semester, like really good friends. And what else happened during second semester? Like teaching wise, clinical wise. Oh yeah, and it was 12-hour clinicals because it was a summer semester, so the hours were short. Like the class, it's like 8-10 weeks. So we were doing 12-hour clinical days. That I did not like. So then, after that was over with, we ended up, like after all that was over with, all of us kind of got our footing a little bit with the teacher. We still didn't like her. But like, we wasn't condemning her for like the test. And then eventually the test actually did get better. I will say that. So, like, once that was done, we were fine. I'm gonna have to brighten this up a little bit. I did not get my eyebrows waxed. I need to. So bad. Because, like, your girl's a unibrow. So, like, once that was over with, it was fine. We all were doing pretty much decent. We were doing amazing in farm, but we were doing decent, and all of us was doing decent in masters too. And the only thing that like hit hard for me in second semester, besides the whole cohort not getting along together, was like there was this test that were originally on separate. Our final exam 4 test for each class was originally on separate dates. And then the first exam was supposed to be on the same date. So our farm teacher had changed her test to a different date. And then she was supposed to change the last one. Our med-surg, she was supposed to change our last one so it wouldn't be on the same date. And she decided that she couldn't change the last one. And she wasn't about to do that. And our farm teacher wouldn't change it because she's like, she already did change one her test exam time. She wasn't going to do it again. It was her turn. So we literally started, all of us made a pact to just like cram for farm after we get done with med-surg, because farm was the easier course. When I say we finished med-surg, because it was the first class, me and my friends had booked off and went to go study in the library. The next thing you know, I get a text. Dr. whatever her name is, I'm not going to say it, she is still my teacher, said that whoever's not in class after the test will automatically be count absent, and her grade won't be, and she will get a class failure for that day. And I was like, what? She can't even do that, but I'm not taking any risk. So we had to come back to class, even though we have another exam coming up, and none of us study. And then she wouldn't even let us pull out our computer because she knew we'll be studying for the other class. And like, we literally had only an hour to cram after, because she would not let us leave class early, even though we finished her exam and we were done, right? So that screwed us so bad. That was my lowest test grade for farm, and it also was my friend's lowest test grade for farm. And she was doing pretty decent in the class, and that dropped her so bad. Like, so bad, to the point that she ended up failing the class. And when I say that hit me so hard, that hit me so hard. Like, I didn't know what to do with myself after that. So we ended up losing a buttload of classmates. I think we lost like a good 10 to 15 classmates for that one class. And my friend was the only one who didn't do well in the other classes she had to replete, and we ended up losing her. So, like, I think that what hit me the hardest with second semester is that we lost so many friends and cohorts. And then when we got to third semester, what hit me was that bad reputation we got from an incident that girl did, that one girl did, and she didn't even pass. So we were still holding on to her bad reputation, even though she's not there anymore. That did not sit right with me. I hated that part, but I couldn't say anything because, like I said, this is our lifeline, and you not, while you in it, you just got to thug it out and stick it through. Fast forward to, I say, the halfway through the semester, with third semester, I end up getting an altercation, not really altercation, but a slight disagreement with my teacher over something so juvenile and so stupid. And she was like egging me on, like, you know how when you're younger they tell you, like, say yes ma'am, okay, and then shut up and then walk away. So that's what I was applying to that situation, and she would not let it go. I came in after having the worst semester, because for some reason every semester something bad happens to my family. So I had, in third semester, I had my dad get in a car accident, end up breaking 4 ribs, and then I had my grandma end up, because my grandma is a dialysis patient, her port ended up clogging, and then they went to like unclog it and get her access back, but then something got nipped, and then her her lungs filled with blood, and she had to be in ICU for like I say almost a month, right? It was like 3 to 4 weeks. And like she had a chest tube placed. Now mind you, my grandma's 75 years old, heart failure, renal failure, like diabetic, dementia, like that hit hard, and she lives with us. So it hit so hard, and I was not in the mind space to like keep dealing with this lady, especially that day, because I had just gotten back from Orangeburg with my grandma. Mind you, we stayed up there for like 3 days, and then I had to come back, and then we were constantly driving back and forth up there every week. And I had just got home just to take the test, and then this is going on 9 weeks into the program, 9 weeks into the semester. And I had, normally, if you don't know this, let me backtrack and just tell y'all this. If y'all don't know this, my first name is not Chantel. But I personally hate my first name, so I go by my middle name, Chantel. And every time I go to class, I pull the teacher aside after the first day of class, and then I tell them that I don't go by my first name. I go by Chantel, and I prefer to be called by Chantel, because I have this very much hate relationship with that first name. And it is a little scarring to me personally, so I explained to them how I don't go by it. And then like every time they slip up, I answer them, or I refer to them, and I said, by the way, my name is, I go by, you know what I'm saying? So this going on 8 weeks, and I've been doing this 8 weeks straight. Mind you, I done told her first day of class, then told her first day of clinical, kept reminding her, and then like I get into the class that day to take the test, and then she calls me by my first name, and I was like, yes ma'am, but I don't go by that name. So then she looks at me, and then she's like, come here. So I come here. I'm like, she's like, that was very rude and unprofessional, and I do not feel like you should be treating me this way, and you need to correct yourself. And I was like, I wasn't being rude, and I wasn't being unprofessional, and I find it kind of belligerent and disrespectful of you to constantly keep referring me by a name that you know I don't go by. And I was just at the moment addressing you and clarifying that I don't go by that name. So then when that happened, that set her off. Like when I mean that set her off, that set her off. She decided that I should step out, and then she pulled me out, and I was like, she explained to me how she found that offensive. She didn't like my tone. She didn't like how I corrected her, and she's like, you don't answer. This explains why you don't answer me when I be calling your name. And I looked at her and I was like, are you serious? Like every time you call me, I answer your question, and then I turn around and clarify that I don't go by that name and what name I prefer. So she sends me out of the classroom. She explains that to me. And then I was like looking at her like, are you for real? Like, lady, I respond to you every time you ask me a question. And then I just clarify that I don't go by that name. No attitude. And I can remember every time that we went over this. And one of my friends like was walking by, and she's like, are you okay? And then I was trying to say no, and it's like, you're not about to interrupt my classroom. And I was like, we're not in your classroom, we're out. And then my friend just asked me something, and you wouldn't even let me get a word out. So then that upset her, and she sent me to the dean. And then I was like, I got sent up here because the teacher told me to come talk to you. And she was like, well, if you got sent up here, then that means that means you were in the wrong. And I was like, I don't personally perceive that I was in the wrong, but okay. And she was like, well, your tone of voice is the reason she sent you up here, and that is the way. It's not how you say it. The way it's the way. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. And then I looked at her and I was like, how will you know how I was saying in the moment of the time you weren't present? I was like, you wasn't present, and the reason why I'm probably saying it roughly now is because I'm upset, and I'm trying to control my temper. And I'm trying to not control my emotions of this matter. And, like, you weren't there, and you just automatically just jumped on her side. Which I should have, like, already knew it was going to happen, because they're friends outside of work. So, like, I should have just suspected that it was going to happen. Shut my mouth and call it a day. But the whole time, like, we were having this conversation, like, from the inside to the outside, I just like, yes, ma'am, can I go now? Yes, ma'am, can I go now? Yes, ma'am, can I go take my test? And then she kept coming at me and egging me on, expecting me to, like, blow up on her. And I'm like, I'm not about to keep dealing with you. So then she was like, okay, we're just gonna go back. We're just gonna have this discussion after you get done with the test. Are you feel like you're capable and in the right headspace to take this test? And I was already pissed, and I should have said no, I'm not in the right headspace. But I was like, yeah, just to get out the office and get the hell away from her. And I wanted this shit to be over with. So I said, yeah, I am. And she was like, okay, go take the test. Mind you, that was my worst fucking test grade, because I kept replaying the whole thing in my fucking head the whole entire time in class and during the test. Like, I cannot tell you a single test question. That's how pissed off I was in that moment. And then, like, that was my lowest test grade. I made like a 70 something on that test grade. And she, we went to go have this discussion. I explained to her that it's 9th week of school. Like, I addressed her. She's trying to say I don't speak to her when she calls my name, but I do. I addressed her and correct her at the same time. And then she was like, well, she didn't mean it in a malicious way, and that you shouldn't be taking it that way. And I was like, how are you going to tell me how I should feel about a situation and how I feel about someone constantly dismissing my emotions about this one subject matter, dismissing my feelings about this one subject matter? And then she's like, if you don't want to get written up, you rather well go ahead and apologize to her. And then the lady ended up coming back to me later on and apologizing. But it was like, one, it pissed me off because I'm like, this is 8th week. Every other teacher got it right by now that I don't go by my first name. 2, for you to keep constantly antagonizing me after I kept saying, I'm okay, let's just end this conversation. Let me just go take the test. And for 3, for you to just automatically jump on the teacher's side without hearing the conversation, without hearing my point of view, because your friends was pissing me off. And then 4, because I knew she was doing it on purpose and thinking it was funny, because there's also another person in class with me that also don't go by his first, he don't go by his first name, he goes by his middle name too. And she got his name instantly. And mind you, he didn't even pull her to the side after the first day. He just told her when she was doing roll call. So yeah, that pissed me off. And then on top of having family situations where my family was like really going through it, y'all, I do not feel like getting up to get another brush. So I'm just going to just use the other brush and call it a day. I have to clean it anyway. So that's how that was how third semester was going. And then third semester started off wrong because that same teacher came to class, and the first day, and she was like, I heard about y'all, I'm gonna set y'all straight. So That did not sit right with me at all. But you just got to learn to bear with it. And that's what I did. So, once we were done with all that, I'm like missing a lip balm. But who cares? I have another one. I have so many lip balms. So yeah. So third semester was just horrible with dealing with the teacher and then dealing with the principal and then having a bad reputation from the second semester, and it was still traveling with us. It was just like not sitting right with me at all. So yeah, that did not go as planned. And like how we left the second semester, one thing I did like about third semester was that exact same, okay, so I think my camera got overheated because of that U-ring that I was using, or what I had it placed on. I don't know, something just made it overheat. So back to what I was saying. The one thing I did enjoy about third semester was my second semester teacher became my clinical instructor, and she was amazing. It was the first time in the past 3 semesters that I felt like I was actually learning in clinical. Like she was so amazing. She basically will bring you in. First day, you have to be on time, have to be dressed properly. And she'll bring you in. She will tell you what patient you have, send you off to do the patient. Then you have to do your assessment. The first day of clinical, she actually did each assessment with you to see if you were doing your assessment right and correct if you didn't do it right. And then like she brought you in with the assessment, and like you will get assigned 3 patients. With those 3 patients, you have to finish all your assessment and chart on all 3 of the the first charting, and then pass your meds with her. And then like when it came to passing meds, and she will let you know like, are you morning med pass or afternoon med pass. So with passing meds, you have to look in the chart, look at why the patient was assigned that medication, explain to her why they were assigned to that medication, explain to her 2 side effects of that medication, give 2 patient teachings of that medication, and also if it correlates with the lab, tell her the lab that it correlates with. And once you got in, you had to actually, after you finished giving the meds, you had to actually give them that patient teaching. So after that, like she'll let us make us do nurse's note, and every time we go check on the patient, we had to write down a nurse's note. Then when we got in at the end of the shift, she will make us give a report, like we were actually giving a report to the incoming nurse to her. And it was amazing. I will say that was like the best experience that I ever experienced in this nursing program so far, was dealing with her. And then on top of that, she will actually teach us like the SBAR situation, and did the SBAR with us, and then like let us listen to the crackles. So now that I explained to you like what was going on the last 2 semesters, I'm currently in 4th semester. I am preparing to graduate. I am preparing to walk because I graduated in August. So right now, because I still got 1 semester after this, and it's the summer semester, but because I came in on spring semester, summer semesters don't walk. They only do graduation during August and during May and December, and I did not want to come back in December, so I'm walking in August. I'm walking in May, and then we're doing our penance ceremony in August, and then we'll be officially graduating and have to focus on the had to focus on the NCLEX. So like I thought this was a better time to get out this funk that I'm in. I don't know what's going on with me this semester, but to get out this funk I am and start my YouTube channel back up. And yeah, so I am, like I said, after this I'm gonna go back and see, because I've been recording, I just haven't been editing. We'll go back and see what videos I have left that's closer to this date, post them after this, and then we're gonna do real time. So yeah. Oh, this is like my everyday makeup. It's very simple, not very beat. It's just like, oh, who you? Oh yeah. It's like very calm and collected. Cause your girl do not know how to do makeup, but like this, I feel like I'm put together a little bit with this. It's not too much. And then when I wear my glasses, I feel like it's like the cutest thing ever. So yeah, this is my little chat. Get ready with me. Sorry about the drama, but no one prepares you that nursing school will be so catty, that you will have catty individuals from the guys, your classmates, to the teachers, to the higher up. And I think I just had personally a bad experience, and I don't think that everybody else had a bad experience. So yeah, like, it's fine. Like, it's good now. Like, you find your friends and you stick with those friends, and that's all. If I could tell you that, that's the one thing I'll tell you. Find your friend in your core group, in a group of great individuals, and stick to them, because the more you stay in with a bigger crowd, the more drama it will happen. So yeah, that's it. I will see y'all next video, and hopefully it wasn't too much drama for you, but it was my life and I lived it, and hopefully it wasn't all over the place, because like trying to remember those 2 semesters just was a lot. All right, see y'all next time.